guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. I'm Mike.
I'm Jay.
And this is a Halloween Returns script revisited. Now, you may have saw in the intro, Jay and I just stopped and we tried Blowjobs. That's the name of the company.
That was a great time.
It's called Blowjobs. They have Halloween drinks. We tried them. You saw it. We'll have the full extended video and the link down below on Patreon. But what we're here to talk about right now is Halloween Returns. This is a script that is now 15 years old?
What?
I think it's 15 years. I think maybe
2016.
No, so it's 10 years old. It came out in 2015.
9 years.
Shut your mouth!
God damn.
You shut your mouth!
You fuck.
Tastes like an old tangerine.
If you drink this whole thing,
You will be in the rhythm of the night.
we're gonna get.
How dare you say these things about me in my own vehicle? Handsome Dave is back in the back seat. Now, we recapped this video 10 years ago, and we went back and we revisited this script. And you know what? I think it may have been better than 2018.
100%.
And I love 2018. I love 2018, but I think it could have been even better because the way they set this thing up. Okay, so just to give you guys an idea, they started off 10 years after the events of the original. Michael Myers, they literally did what they did in Halloween Kills. They went back and there's this character named Steve Rogers, which is basically Captain America.
It's not Steve Rogers.
Steve Rogers.
No.
Captain America.
He wasn't doing that.
He's the new Loomis.
Rogers
Rogers
is his last name.
Is his last name. I don't remember if it's Steve or not, to be honest with you.
I don't know.
But
Paul. It was Paul Rogers.
sure, whatever
Paul
you say,
Rogers.
Jim. But no, this new character, he's the new Loomis, basically. And he's been watching after Michael. He's a
I
psychiatrist.
kind of don't like that.
Well,
Because you know why I don't like it is because it's cool and all. It's like an alternate reality origin story from Michael with the way that this movie starts or the script starts. But that's cool if you're going to do it that way. But then why do you have the ending with Gary Oldman?
Yeah. And by the way, the ending of this, well, we'll get to that. We'll have
I mean,
to get
why
to
do you
that.
have that, bitch?
There's a character named Rogers who shows up. And basically, dude, this is what they ended up doing with Halloween Kills in a way. Michael Myers is going through the streets. He's killing a bunch of people. And then all of a sudden, Rogers shows up and he's like, Michael, they're going to kill you. Stop. There's a sheriff there. Maybe he's not a sheriff yet. I think he's a deputy. Same thing as Halloween Kills. And Michael shows up at his house in the middle of his killing spree, and he kills his wife. And the guy's like, what the fuck are you doing in my house? And then all of a sudden, Rogers comes up, and he's like, hey, Michael, they're going to kill you. Stop. And then we're watching this whole thing through the point of view of Michael Myers. And then you see Michael Myers drop to his knees, and the mask gets taken off, and the camera pans away from the back of his crown. And it's really, dude, it's just like what they did in Halloween Kills.
Yeah, the
Crazy.
opening of this script, so it sets in the original Halloween night where Michael has, murdered a bunch of babysitters because he just doesn't like titties. He's gay.
He hates
and he
titties.
wants to kill all titties. And he kills a bunch of people. I think that they were at the tally mark with like 12 or 13 people had already been slayed. And then Michael is on his final victim. He's on his final crusade to kill this one chick. And he gets stopped. Karen, yeah, of course you got to kill the Karen. But he gets stopped because it gets interrupted by the cops. And in this particular instance, it's not Dr. Loomis or Brackett stopping him. It's Evans. I think that the sheriff's name is Evans. I could be wrong.
I think you are. I think you're wrong.
No, I don't think I am.
It's a different name.
Is it?
You gonna look it up?
I don't
think it's Evans.
Well, either way. So no, it's not even a sheriff. It's a deputy, and the current doctor, which
Hunt. It's Hunt.
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 Paul Rogers is the current psychiatrist for Michael at this point, is the one that interrupts his final plan to kill these last few people. And then it's over. So it's a revisionist type of history of Halloween. There's no Laurie. I mean, if there is a Laurie, she's not mentioned. all it says that Michael had been on an escapade of killing like 12 people. So he's already done this atrocious thing.
So he stuck away from Rogers. Rogers was the doctor in charge of him.
Not Loomis.
Right, not Loomis, but Rogers was in charge of him. And then he's like, I blinked and he sneaked out the window. All this time, he was like, we thought we were watching him. He was watching us for the perfect
Great
time
line.
to escape. And then he escapes. And then he goes on another killing spree, which is what the script starts with. And then we get an awesome opening with him killing everybody. And then it goes into the intro with the Halloween pumpkins. And then this one, it's different because you see the pumpkins light up, but then the camera pans back and you realize that the pumpkins are the iris of the eye.
It makes the shape of the Myers mask.
Right. It's the iris of the eye of the Michael Myers mask. And then we're introduced to all these new characters, which is so fucking genius, dude, the way that they do this. We don't have to go back to Laurie. They don't even go back to Loomis. It's a whole new crop of characters, and Michael Myers is in Haddonfield killing again, and it's so fucking good.
What you have to do, though, is you have to go from this night, the way that it ends, with Michael dropping to his knees, and say, I'll suck you, Diddy. It's not what he said, but like he just drops to his knees and he gives up. And then the police capture him, and then you have all this voiceover scenario happening while the pumpkin patch is playing, where the reporters are talking about, mass serial killer Michael Myers arrested. They're seeking the death penalty. And then you fast forward to 10 years later, and now Michael has been on death row this entire time. And Rogers, who is his acting psychiatrist, has recommended to the courts that he is mentally fit to stand trial. And this is why they've convicted him.
Because he wanted him to die.
Yeah, he wanted
them
to
kill him.
And so now what happens is it takes place, dude, it's so fucking badass. So it takes place in a penitentiary where Michael has been sitting alone on death row, and on October 30th, 10 years later, they're going to execute him. So that's when the movie really starts taking off, is we're transported 10 years into the future after the 1978 Halloween massacre. We're transported to 1988 is what I'm assuming. And now we're there. Michael's going to be executed. He's going to have the death row passed on him. And dude, I got to tell you,
that's one of the greatest scenes in Halloween history.
It's so fucking good.
That we never got to see.
This scene with Rogers, his acting psychiatrist, talking to him on the other side of the jail cell, and Michael just sitting there. And by the way, I love the fact that this author, I can't remember the scriptwriter's name.
Marcus Dunstan, and I can't remember the other guy's name. I'll put it here.
Yeah, blank check. Dunstan checks in. But no, this guy made sure he puts in bold capital letters in the script. His face is not shown, even though they take the mask away from him and he doesn't have the mask, and he's sitting on death row in the jail cell talking to his acting psychiatrist, Rogers. His face is never shown. It's always kept in shadow. They don't fuck around with that, which is great. I like that. This whole scene, dude, when I was reading it, I was like, oh my God, this is cinematic. It's so, like, even off the page, it reads such like a cinematic moment while Rogers is explaining to Michael, he's sitting alone in this particular, on death row, and he's like, I told them that you were eligible to stand trial. I want you to die, Michael, because what you did that night wasn't human. There's something about you that's evil. Like, there's nothing about you that is redeemable. And then Michael doesn't make, obviously, any type of interaction, or he doesn't, like, give anything away. But, dude, that whole fucking sequence, God damn, that would have been so amazing to see.
It only gets better, because when they take Michael out there and they put him on death row, we're about to watch Michael Myers be executed in front of the entire town.
Lethal injection.
Yeah, and they have 3 different sets of things that are going to happen to him. And, dude, I'm not lying to you. When you read the script, it's actually the first time I've been scared in a Michael Myers situation in a long time, because everybody's watching him. He's getting the injections. Michael Myers dying, and I can only imagine they're going to keep his face in shadow because he's not wearing a mask.
In the script they only say that when he's being led out of the cell, that there's a thunderstorm going on, of course. That the flash of lightning only illuminates the shadow on his face.
Perfect, dude.
Yeah.
And then they do the 3 different injections, and with each one, he has a different reaction. And then all of a sudden, Michael starts convulsing on death row in front of these people who want to watch him die. And they say that you can see his veins in his arms. Like, you can see the veins in his arms turn into like bruises in real time.
They go from red to black.
Yeah, and
like
yellow,
him, like
black.
fighting the fucking injection. So Michael's literally just like, you ain't gonna kill me with poison. And he gets like Hulk Hogan. He Hulk Hogan's it.
And dude, it's even scarier because like at first he's kind of taking. He's like, I'm gonna go. I'm ready. It's my time.
Until he sees Sophia.
And then he sees
Sophia,
the doctor's daughter, Sophia.
Yeah.
And he turns his head and he sees her and he's like, I want to live. I want to live. I'm not fucking leaving.
I got to kill that bitch.
I'm not fucking leaving. And dude, he starts to flex.
That's what it was. Yeah.
He starts to flex, and then all of a sudden, everything goes haywire. The veins start going crazy. He starts to convulse. The chains break, and right then, the lights go out in the entire place.
Yeah.
How scary is that, dude? All the lights go out, and it's black, and then Michael Myers is free, and he starts Halloween 6, doctor's room, strobe light going, killing everybody in front of everyone.
The prison room execution breakout in this particular scene, in my opinion, if shot right, would have overtaken the operating room scene in Halloween 6. In my opinion, because you can read it on the script and it sounds so fucking good and you can see it, you can visualize it, but it would take a type of director to make sure that is filmed
you'd have to
in a right way. But dude, 100%, the potential would be there to be the greatest Michael Myers scene of all time. This motherfucker is set down, strapped, ready to get that baby oil injected into his veins, and he's like, nah, I'm gonna Hulk Hogan out because I see Sophia and I gotta fuck Sophia up. You know, if you guys, I know we're jumping, you guys gotta read the script, but Sophia is the daughter of the psychiatrist in whom he's in the care of. And by the way, this script does a good job of showcasing that they definitely wanted to focus on the Michael Myers POV because a lot of it is through Michael Myers' point of view, like behind the mask, like in this particular instance, while he's getting ready to be lethally injected, he's ready to accept his fate. And he's sitting there, and then they say that, you know, Michael's looking around the room, not really giving a shit about what's going on. And then they have the heart monitor. You can only imagine how this would be on screen. The heart monitor's hooked up to him. You hear the beep, beep, like very steady, doesn't care. And then, for whatever reason, he sees Sophia, his psychiatrist's daughter, in the viewing section of the execution room, and then he starts breathing heavier. And this is all from his POV.
Yeah.
And then that's why he wants to fight back. Dude, it's so goddamn genius. It's like, yes, give me his point of view. Give me Michael's point of view. Because I want to see that fucker. I want to see that monster. What does he think?
I want Biggie size this bitch.
Yeah, give me that Wendy's extra fucking double goddamn nacho cheese. I want to see all of it. But no, yeah, dude, there's so much to that scene. And like we could literally take an hour just to talk about the breakout scene.
It's so good. And then when he breaks out, like the Rogers he goes up there and he's trying to stop what's happening.
Let me interrupt you really quick. Do you like Rogers?
I do.
He also had like a gee willikers. I mean, my family's great, and I'm sorry that your family suffered, but
sure.
But there is one moment at the rest stop where he does confront the old sheriff.
Yeah, because there's a sheriff there as well whose house Michael had went to, and Michael killed his wife, and the sheriff is yelling at Hunt while they're searching for Rogers. He's like, "This is your fault. You let him go." But I love Rogers' response in that. He was like, "Fuck you too, pal.
Yeah,
fuck you too." He was like, "I'm studying these people." He's like, "You just want to shoot them and kill them. Great, grand, wonderful." He was like, "But I'm studying them so that this doesn't happen to anybody else." And it's very much Dorothy, Twister, Bill Paxton.
Well, it reminded me of not Brackett. Who was the guy on Halloween 4? The sheriff?
Meeker.
It's kind of like when Meeker and Loomis have a back and forth for a second, and then Loomis gains his respect. He was like, "You don't have a police force?" And he was like, basically saying, "Hey man, I'm trying to stop this motherfucker, and you're trying to fight me."
And that's the perfect thing that they do, because when Michael escapes, and Michael does it in a badass way, he goes into this room with all these chemicals, and he sets off a bomb, and then
boiler room.
Yeah, they're trying to chase him, and then Michael sets off a bomb, and then the whole town's like, "Oh, we've lost a lot of people. This is a tragic thing. Let's not let's not scare people. They're telling Rogers, they're like, let's not scare people. We've lost people. Stop stoking the fires. And he's like, no, but he's still alive. I'm trying to tell you. And they're like, you're being an asshole. He's dead. He burned alive in the fire. And he's literally become Loomis at this point because he's like, no, I'm telling you, he's not.
Obsessed.
And it's so smart how they handle that situation.
By the way, Michael he's up to a lot of fuckery in this. A lot of backdoor end fuckery, magician shit. And I love it. Dude. I think it's so goddamn clever and how Michael used his mind to get those kills. There's a lot of moments in this script where we're like, that's smart.
Yeah, dude, because then after that he goes and they do the Halloween 3 tie-in too. Another thing that David Gordon Green and them thought about copying or doing something with, because Michael's looking for his mask now. He's out in the streets, everybody thinks he's dead, and then Michael goes up to like a Halloween shop, and this guy who works for literally Silver Shamrock, and his last name is Grumbridge, which is fucking crazy. Michael goes into his Halloween store or whatever, he kills him, he steals a Michael Myers mask, and by the way, there's also the witch, the skull, the pumpkin, all that stuff. Michael steals that, and then meanwhile, you've got these teenagers who are all the sons and daughters of these people in the script, and they're planning a party over here. Now, there's a party going on over here. Michael goes, he finds his mask, he kills the guy, we see him kill the guy, and then at one point he steals the guy's van, the Silver Shamrock van. Michael's driving it, which is crazy as fuck. And then a bunch of kids think it's Mr. Grumbridge, and they start fucking with him, and then Michael throws Mr. Grumbridge's severed head out at the kids to fuck with them. This is just how good this script knows Halloween. It knows the lore. It ties it in without ever making it too whimsical. It's so fucking good. And then ultimately what happens is, while Hunt and Rogers are arguing, and they end up siding with each other and understanding where each other comes from, they find out that Michael is at Roger's home, and he kills Roger's wife in a gnarly way. He breaks a bottle and stabs her with it.
She deserved it. She was a vodka.
How dare you?
She's a vodka queen.
Should have been standing there. Kills her with it. And then ultimately this all ends up at the party. So you get all of the great elements.
They go to Pumpkin Joe's pumpkin patch. And then the shit gets crazy at Pumpkin Joe's pumpkin patch.
But dude, it's so good because you have all this extra lore going on over here. But then the whole script ends with a giant finale at a Halloween party where you get all the Halloween atmosphere.
Everything.
There's scarecrows. Michael's killing people. He's doing his arts and crafts and setting up these dead teenagers as scarecrows and shit like that. And then when the whole thing comes to an end, everybody ends up at this house where Michael Myers is killing people, and Michael Myers takes Rogers, who's trying to save his daughter. He cuts his tongue in half.
Yeah.
Right? He cuts his tongue in half. He puts his mask on Rogers, who's telling him at the time, by the way.
H2O.
Exactly. He's telling him, he's like, you're caught. Ha, you're caught. You're busted. Michael puts his mask on him, cuts his tongue open, sends him out, and then all the police shoot him because he can't scream. Yeah. And then when they go inside of the house, Michael has written in blood, this town will never be safe again. And Rogers tells his daughter, with his split in half tongue somehow,
he don't want to kill just me and you. He wants to kill everybody.
He wants to kill everybody.
Everybody's dead.
Everybody's not going to touch you.
You're not going to have any safe night.
And fucking what a great ending. Michael Myers escapes. The whole town's on lockdown. The whole story's alive and open for sequels. And then at the fucking end, by the way, I meant to say this earlier, we always assumed, the way I read it the first time we did this, it says Rogers is in the hospital, and then Loomis comes out, and it's Gary Oldman. Now, when you reread the script, though, I never noticed this before. It's kind of like a Gary Oldman-like character. It doesn't necessarily say it's Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman.
It says something along the lines of, I'll put the actual visual up on here, but it doesn't specifically say it's Gary Oldman. That's the way I read it the first time.
Yeah.
But basically, Loomis shows up and he's like,
he was always evil, purely and simply evil. And then it's supposed to be revealed, at least in this post-credit scene. I thought it was Gary Oldman dressed as Loomis because it even describes an older gentleman with a trench coat, with a gun in a shoulder holster, sitting there. He's like, "Yes, he was evil."
Yeah.
Here's the problem, and that scene would have been phenomenal, by the way. But here's the problem: why even introduce Loomis if you already
have Rogers?
Well, you already have Rogers,
yeah.
And then if you're going to go out in your own way and do this whole thing in Russellville, Illinois and not Haddonfield, and you're going to have this whole separate story where it's not Laurie Strode focused and it's not the brother sister connection, and Michael is just on a rampage, PMSing out of his fucking mind. He's like, I'm going to fucking kill anybody that tried to take me to death row. Like, why even introduce Loomis?
You wanted the thunder, well now you got it.
Yeah,
pal.
well, why even introduce Loomis? And then and Loomis says a classic line at the end. He's like, he was always purely and simply evil. Like, it's cool. No, it's a great moment.
It's still cool, though.
It's a badass moment, but it's not needed. But it's not needed.
Yeah, you got a good point. You already have Rogers.
You got to go all the way. Don't fucking edge the tit on the pussy.
That's fair. That's fair. But it was exciting to see Loomis show up.
It was great.
At the end of the script.
But let me read really quick what I wrote while I was reading it. This is what I put down in my notes. Similarities between H4, H7, and the original, and H2, the original. The small town of Russellville, town square decorated with Halloween themes, the Silver Shamrock Halloween store, all very similar to Haddonfield in the original. The corn maze kill of Ashley is kind of similar to the original in that Ashley acts like that chicken bitch from the first one that says, see anything you like.
Yeah. She does.
When he's
got her pants unbuttoned.
The spotlight's coming closer.
Yeah.
I also put down the party near the end at the abandoned farmhouse and the kids getting wasted after sneaking away with it being decorated with a speaker playing music and candles lighting everything feels close to H7 party.
By the way, not to cut you off, but I forgot to mention there's one badass kill that happens.
There's multiple badass kills.
Oh, there's so many good kills, but there's one scene that happens where someone's getting killed, and because the speaker got fucked up and stabbed, it starts playing
Mr. Sandman.
Mr. Sandman, but where the speaker's fucked
it's up. It's all warped.
It sounds warped and fucked up. I was like, that's creepy as shit.
Dude, that would have been great. Yeah.
I love that.
Then I have the botched execution of Myers, and his breakout was awesome. Probably would have been the best scene in the film. I 100% agree with that. Bree taking selfies, which is one of the friends of Sophia, at the pumpkin patch with Michael moving closer behind her each time the camera snapped was amazing.
Yeah.
So there's a scene in the script where this one ditzy girl, friend of Sophia, which is the daughter of the psychiatrist treating Michael, they're at this pumpkin party and she's taking selfies of herself, and each time she snaps the picture, Michael's behind her and he moves closer and closer, like in the fucking...
Like Lights Out.
No, Paranormal Activity, where she keeps moving closer in the picture, and then he finally kills her. That would have been, because she's like, she didn't notice him while she was taking, and then she looks back at her camera and sees him getting closer.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome, dude. That would have been an amazing fucking scene. Then I have Michael using his mask as a distraction by putting it on the end of a broomstick to kill Bear.
Yeah.
Again, smart. That's all I have. But yeah, I quit right because I got invested. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. But there's a scene too in the farmhouse, the old farmhouse at the pumpkin patch, where Michael's not dumb, dude. What they do very well in this script is they showcase Michael's ingenuity. That Michael knows that he can get caught and that he can go to death row. Like he almost got killed at the
He's like, I ain't going back, dog.
It's like, yeah, I got parole. And so what he does is he uses misdirection in a way that is really well done. In this particular instance, toward the climactic ending of this film, there's a character named Bear, and he's alone on the second floor of this farmhouse. And Sophia is trying to guide him, hey, you need to survive this or whatever. Michael's in the house, and he's trying to outsmart Michael. And so he's trying to get to the staircase, Bear is, to get away, to get out of the house. And what happens is that Michael knows that he's doing this. Michael takes his fucking mask off at some point, puts it on the end of a broomstick, and holds it out like bait. And so that guy sees him, Bear sees it in a different area of the building. And it's like, oh, it's my chance because the mask is right there. And he runs, and then you find out that it's a fucking mask on a broomstick. And Michael pops up like the goddamn Wicked Witch of the West and says, see? And then fucks him up.
The bat vein, bitch.
Dude, there's so many cool moments in this movie. Like, oh, God, yeah, this movie should have been Halloween 2018.
100%. And we both loved Halloween 2018. We're both big fans of it. Where they took it's another situation. However, I will sit here and tell you right now that As much as I love Halloween 2018, I think they made a mistake because Halloween Returns was not only a great film with a great script, but the way it left the franchise open for anything to happen, Russellville, Haddonfield, wherever, where the whole town will never be safe again, and got away from Laurie Strode, got away from all that shit and did its own thing, would have been way better for the franchise in the long run.
I wonder if they were like a little bit hesitant when they were like, well, yeah, but you showed Loomis after the credits.
I don't think it was that. I think what happened was they realized Laurie Strode would come back, and they thought, well, we need the star power, so fuck this script. We're going to go a whole different direction. And I actually think they made a mistake. I think the Halloween franchise would be better off today had they gone with this script. But what do you guys think? If you could have Halloween 2018 or Halloween Returns, a lot of you guys have probably read the script. And read the script.
If you guys don't know, read the fucking script, dude.
Tell us which. I'm on Halloween Returns. I think you are as well.
100%.
What do you guys think?
Because, well, also.
For fucking my butt.
Yeah, fuck that ass. And don't worry about the juicy butt smell. It's going to be fine. No, I will say also about the way that.
Hey, lady, we're filming a video here. Mind your goddamn business.
Get out of here. If she looks over.
She's going to kill us.
Yeah. But no, also, this film. There's something about it that feels like H4 while reading it. It feels like Halloween 4. It feels like an actual, like, I'm not saying that Halloween 2018 didn't do that well too, but there's something about, like, this takes place in 1988. And I would only assume, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I would feel like they would film it in the late 80s, early 90s style. I feel like this is a movie that you would have to film that way.
Yeah.
And there's something very comforting and cool about the way the script reads. You feel like the autumn spirit and you feel like the Halloween 4 vibe.
Tons of Halloween accoutrement throughout.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
So
we love your fucking faces. Which one do you want? Comment down below. We love your faces. Hit the subscribe button. Touch my tit. Touch his tit. Touch our tits. Look at our fingers. Touch my finger.
Touch things.
Come on, do it. Don't be scared. Oh, God, Jim. We love your fucking faces. See you guys soon.
Here comes that white-faced fucker, an asshole like no other. He's a big old piece of shit. Wants to stab your sister's tits cause he's a white-faced fucker. Loomis can't recover. Dr. Challenge drunk again, sleeping with your sister's friends.
Do you want to know about the darkness?
I said, God damn.
God damn you, faggot!